USCJ. It's your boy Jakeem. Really appreciate what you're doing for USC culture, man. Keep going.
Going on, shout out USCJ, man. Appreciate the support. Shout out to USCJ, you know what it is, nothing but love, man.
Trojan Felly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, happy Wednesday to everybody. Look, man, this before you know it, let's enjoy this football season, man, because before we know it, this football season will officially be over, man. And look, man, it goes by so quick, and we are moving into this next week, man. This is the third week, the third game. Wow, what can I say about that? Purdue is here. You guys know a lot of people made a big thing about once we get into the Big Ten conference or the Big Ten play, whether the Big Ten schedule, this is when our season officially starts. Everybody kind of feels that way. I feel that way. And we get ready to find out a whole lot about this USC football team. But I'm excited because not only are we leading in so many categories all around the country, whether it's yards, we'll get into some of these numbers. But yesterday, you guys know I did a video about the defensive line. Is it a time to be concerned? Now, you guys know I posted that question so you guys can interact. But you guys already know, man, I have faith in this defensive line. I know that this defensive line is getting ready to move and groove on a whole nother level. We have mixed and matched. We've done some things just to get acclimated. Some of these guys, the freshmen, the sophomores, guys that hadn't been used to playing in college football. And now I feel like it's getting ready to really be go time. And I think we're going to have a stable defensive line, the first unit, the second unit, and we won't be seeing all of these rotations like we've seen before. But I want to get into some of this offensive line stuff. Specifically, I saw yesterday Coach Lincoln Riley. One thing, let me get back real quick. One thing before I get into the offensive line. You guys know I touched on the defensive line yesterday, as I stated, and the Big Ten sack leaders came out, and I wanted to get this clear. I wanted to get this out the way. Out of all the teams, let me say this: all the teams, USC has 3 of them on there. Illinois has 1, Purdue has 1, Minnesota has 1, Oregon has 1, Purdue has 2 actually, and Maryland has 1. So let me just read these names real quick. Number 1 is Gabe Jacobs. He's from Illinois. He's the number 1 sack leader with 3. Number 2 on that list is going to be Anthony Lucas from USC. Number 3, well, it's number 2. They all got. So all of them are tied. So the leading one is number 3. Is Gabe Jacobs with number 3. So Anthony Lucas has 2. Purdue guy CJ Nunley 5 has 2. Minnesota Anthony Smith has 2. Braylon Shelby has 2 sacks. Cameron Fountain has 2 sacks. Mateo from Oregon, he has 2. And then Cole Sullivan has 2. And then Sidney Stewart from Maryland has 2. So USC has 6 sacks on the season. We got to be leading the country right now on the sacks. And as we stated, this may be a lower tier teams that we played, Georgia Southern, and they had a bunch of transfer guys that were, pretty good in size, pretty decent. And I think we will continue to see this coming out throughout this year. And so as I did state, Missouri State did beat Marshall, who, kind of gave Georgia, I'm not going to say all the way a run for their money or nothing like that, but Georgia didn't put 50 points on them. It was 45, but I'm just saying. So, look, man, let's talk about this offensive line real quick because I want to know from you guys, is this a pleasant surprise based on the fact, and I told you, I tried to warn everybody that I feel comfortable with the offensive line. Now, I heard Lincoln Riley in the press conference from yesterday, and he interviewed Michael Benuelas. Lo and behold, did I not tell you guys that Michael Benuelas, he's had a phenomenal camp. He didn't get to start. No, he didn't get to start. You saw Tobias. You saw Elijah Page at the left tackle, right? You saw Tobias Raymond at the left. At the left guard, and he got to start, and he's still there, and he's doing a phenomenal job. big body Tobias Raymond. And then at the center spot, you kind of, you got Keelan O'Connor, and then you got John Ray Reed kind of doing they switching up thing. But here's the thing that I wanted you guys to understand. And then at Alani Noah, he started at right tackle, right guard, and then you had Justin starting at the right tackle. But here's the thing that I want you guys to understand. I told you at some point, Michael McWalis is going to be coming in. Now, a lot of people, they discredit him for his size and all this other stuff. But I told you with Bryson Shaw, me and Bryson Shaw had a conversation, and Bryson Shaw kind of talked about that on here. He said Michael McWalis is one of the most nastiest guys that you'll find around when you talk about getting down and dirty with it from an offensive line. He said he didn't back down from anybody. And so lo and behold, what did we see yesterday? We saw where Coach Lincoln Riley talked about Michael McWalis. And this is how he addressed it, though. Not only did Michael McWalis get a game ball for having a phenomenal game against Georgia Southern, Michael McWalis actually started that game too. You guys do know that. Michael McWalis started that game at right guard, had a phenomenal game, and then he got a game ball for his play. Listen, man, this is why, it's not about, sometimes it's not about all of the extra size and all, but sometimes it's about the dog in you. It's about the heart. It's about how you get down and dirty with it. It's about, like, do you want this or not? And Michael McWalis, yeah, he may be 6'2", 6'3", but he's still a 300-pounder. He's still gonna push you. I tell you what, you get in front of him and see how that work out for you, and see if you can hold him up. Michael McWalis is really a guy that's moving and grooving. Now, Alani Noah will probably be back in there. We'll see what happens. But I love the way Michael McWalis came out there, and when his time was ready, his car was picked. He was ready. He didn't have a fit. He didn't fall out. He didn't have a pity party. But teamwork make the dream work. And I love that type of team. I love that type of spirit with a guy like Michael McWalis, who was able to come in there. Now, Alani Noah may get a start. This coming up. But if Michael McWalis doesn't start, guess what? He will be ready again when his time is called. But I love that he got the game ball. I love when he addressed the offensive line, he had different tiers to this. And he said that, look, there's our best seven. And he said the best seven is Alani Noah, it's Michael McWalis, it's John Ray Reed, it's Keelan O'Connor, it's Elijah Page, it's Tobias Raymond, it's Justin Tuano. It's all of those guys that make up the offensive line. It's the starting five plus the extra two. So he said in the event that any injuries have, they know they can rely on those guys. That's, and then you got another tier two. He talked about Harry Trader for tier two, other guys as well. And I just think, now here's the question I want to know from you guys. Is this unexpected, or do they exceed expectations right now for you guys? Does the offensive line really exceed expectations? Because my thing is this. I told you guys during the Texas A&M game, if they could hold up, if Justin if Amos, I was getting ready to say Amos Talele, if Tobias Raymond, if all of these guys can hold up the way they held up, even Michael McWalis in the Texas A&M game, why couldn't they hold up this season all year long? Why can't they do it? And that's it's like we gotta really think about how these guys perform, and then how they picked up in the spring, and they continue to move and groove, man. That's really, I think we got to factor those things in, man, and really understand that. Look, man, we got guys out here that can really play this position. And I think I told you that iron sharpens iron. I told you that our D line was getting those guys ready. You see our guys sacking guys like crazy right now. Our D line was getting our offensive line ready. Now, does that mean they're going to be perfect? Absolutely not. But do they exceed expectations? For me, I'm not even going to say they exceeded expectations, because I believed in them already. I knew that we didn't have to worry about these guys. Now, yeah, we're going to face some Michigans. We're going to face some other competition, some big-time defensive linemen, some guys that are coming out the edge. But I believe that the experience, the levels that we've already went up to and played, well, strength of schedule-wise, is giving them a small build-up. And I believe these guys will be ready to rock and roll. I believe in our guys, man. I'm sorry. I just do. Every single one of these guys on our offensive line. I believe in the backups as well. I believe that they're getting their reps in. And I believe we saw a lot of mix and matches for the purpose of getting these guys prepared to be game ready. That's what I'm standing on. It's a couple of news and note items I want to hit on in categories that USC, they're hitting all kinds of marks. Not only are they doing some phenomenal things as the SAC leaders right now in the country, but USC right now, college football offensive points per game, USC is 66 at 66. That's their average. Texas Tech comes in second at 64.5. Oregon comes in at third at 64.0. Tennessee comes in at fourth at 58.5. Arkansas comes in at 5 at 54.0. And then you got three of them that are tied. And then Florida State that's tied at 54.0. Washington at 54.0. Boston College comes in at number 8 at 53. Pittsburgh comes in at number 8 at 53. And then Utah comes in at number 8 at 53. So those are the points, but USC is at the very top of that list. And what does that say? What does that say to you guys? It says a lot to me. College football offensive yards per game. Look at this. USC sits at the top of that one. USC right now sits at 676 yards. They're sitting at the top. USC is sitting at the number 1. Tennessee comes in at number 2 at 605. Texas Tech is coming in at number 3 at 604.5. Arkansas comes in at number 4 at 591. Missouri comes in at number 5 at 577.5 yards. Ole Miss comes in at number 6 at 575 yards. Georgia Tech comes in at Georgia Tech comes in at number 7 at 571.5 yards. Number 8 is Washington. They come in at 568.5 yards. Oregon comes in at number 8 at 568.5 yards. And then number 10 is Florida State. They come in at 555.5 yards. Look, man, I think USC is doing very well right now, for those who haven't noticed. And here's the thing. I don't care what college football team you play. When you're talking about playing, and we didn't play no FCS schools. Like I told you, Missouri State just beat a Division I team in Marshall, who I believe Marshall won their conference last year. Did anybody know that Marshall won their conference? If I'm not mistaken. Georgia Southern, do you guys not know that Georgia Southern goes to a bowl game the past few years? Now, I think they lost in the bowl game, but they still go to bowl games. They are Division I school. Now, I'm saying that for this reason. And we don't celebrate cupcakes. But at the end of the day, I don't care what team you are in college football. If you put up those type of numbers, do you think it's going to just stop? How many defenses do you think is just going to be able to stop USC on offense? The only one that can stop USC is USC. Period. As long as we run Lincoln Riley's offense efficiently, effectively, and I told you guys this with Lincoln Riley. I told you guys that I had intel that they're going to start running the ball more, and we've been seeing it. We're even leading. Let me give you some of these other ones real quick. We got a couple more that I want to get into real quick from an offensive perspective. Rushing offense right now. USC, 271 yards per game is their average. Passing offense, 405 yards per game is the average. USC is moving and grooving on so many fronts right now. So, look, man, you guys give me in the comments, man. You guys can tell me what you think. I want to know from you guys, does this offensive line, are they exceeding expectations? Or are they right where you think they should be or where you thought they would be? I'm not even saying that they're exceeding my expectations, because I told you guys, I felt like this offensive line, this is a great unit. This is a brotherhood. In the chemistry aspect, the togetherness, the brotherhood, all of that stuff matters when you're talking about working with your brother side by side, hand by hand, and you just giving that brother some love. So look, man, hit me in the comments, man. You guys tell me what you think. Happy Wednesday to everybody, man. I'm fired up. I'm excited about this USC football team. I saw somewhere that said Jaden Mayava is a dark horse for the Heisman. Listen, we already told you he's a Heisman candidate. We'll forget about, throw the dark horse out. Look, and you guys, the individuals are so lost in the sauce right now to say, I saw a picture. Somebody said, well, Jaden Mayava gets this pressure from these Big Ten teams, he's going to start crumbling. I saw a picture where Jaden Mayava was in the pocket and the pocket was surrounded, and he threw right through the pocket, over the top, through to the tight end. Hello. So look, man, I'm out of here, man. Happy Wednesday to everybody, man. I'm about to get out of here, man, before I get in trouble with somebody. But until later on, listen, everybody stay blessed. Listen, it's really go time. It's on and popping. It's on and cracking. Until later on, everybody stay blessed. Fight on, fight on, fight on.